Hey y'all! Hey, welcome to an all new episode of the DTI Takeover Show. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am your host, Miss Kayla. I'm doing something different here. I'm going live. I'm at the park at Belle Isle. But like we like to do, as always, we like to spotlight different business owners around the world, around our city. And this young lady is no different. I have Miss Joy here, Dowridge. She's the owner of JLD Cards and Such. Hi, Miss Joyce. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How about you?
I'm well. I'm well. Thank you. Thank you for your
Good.
patience
No
with
problem.
us today. So, Miss Joyce, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Joyce Dowridge, and I'm the owner of JLD Cards and Such, which is a unique greeting card company. Um, I have three grown children. I have 13 grandchildren that range anywhere from I think 4 months up to 28 years old. Um, and I'm an entrepreneur.
Well, you have a whole army
Army.
with you.
Yeah.
How is that like? How is that dealing with everybody, different personalities?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Well, the babies, about six of those, or five or six of those, are out of state right now. Um, five of them are pretty much grown, and then the other two are, they're small. But yeah, I mean, it's fine. I don't get them. I don't get around them all at one time, so so it's manageable.
Got you. Okay, Miss Joyce. So, how do we start JLD Cards and Such? Where did that come from?
So, uh, back in the day when there were actual card stores, like Hallmark, I would go in and I would look for a greeting card for special occasion, whatever, and I would stand there and I read these cards, but they at that back then the cards were very generic, very basic in their wording, and I couldn't really find anything that really spoke my sentiments. So after years of that, I began to pray and ask God for a business. And of course, hold on, let me give some praise and honor to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who is my life. So I began to pray about a business, and I heard in my spirit, you have a business, and I'm sitting there going, what business do I have? Because I began to create the cards myself, but I never thought of it as a business. So when he spoke that in my spirit, and he said your cards, and I was like, oh, I was like, okay. So immediately I went out and created, got a. At that time it wasn't a LLC, it was a INC, and I got a name for myself, and then I began to do my cards, but my cards didn't look nothing like they look now, because just starting out, I really didn't know much, about business, but I did create these cards. And at the place I was working at the time, there was a store. So I got up my nerves and went down and asked if I could put these cards in his store. And to my surprise, he said yes. And so the cards were selling so fast, I couldn't even keep up, and he told me, he said, they love your words, and I was like, okay, and so it went on, and everything. So fast forward to now, I got into this, it's called I call it a mentoring ministry. It's a global empowerment ministry. And the is Art Cartwright is over it, and so he actually taught me how to um, do business, and get my cards into the stores and everything, So I want to give a shout out to Global Empowerment Ministries also here in Detroit.
I love it. I love it. So, what kind of cards do you do?
So I have a set of cards that I call my Detroit um, Detroit theme card. I don't know if you can see that. This plastic is. Let me see if I can take it out the plastic. All right. So this is one of the cards. It's the Horace E. Dodge fountain that's in Hart Plaza, and then I did another one with Fox Theater, and I have three more: Spirit of Detroit, Joe Louis Fisk, and the let's see, the Comerica Park Tigers. So those are I call my Detroit theme cards. And in those cards, inside, I put a little paragraph in there about that monument, and what it is, and where it came from, because my thing is I want to educate the people about their city and about the monuments, because after seeing them tear down monuments last year or year for last in other states because of what they stood for, I was like, oh, let me see what ours stand for, because we have a lot of monuments too, and
Yeah.
the monuments that I'm focusing on my cards, they're all good. So thank goodness. Um, Now I also did a set of cards for best friends, for BFFs. I did a set of those, and then I have my regular birthday cards. This is just one of the birthday cards that I did.
Oh, that's
Um,
pretty.
yeah.
That's pretty nice. Do you just are you over like the design of the cards as well?
So I have a program,
Okay.
that I use, and then I also get the pictures from, free sites also, that I use on my cards. But I do the wording, and I try to word from my heart, because I know that people, just to say, oh, happy birthday, I try to say more than that, Um, my Detroit cards, their birthday, thinking of you, encouragement. I did a blank one, and the other one was, I think it was thinking of you. Um, I wrote this down so I wouldn't be stumbling all over the place. I did a get well, thinking of you, birthday, blank insight, and encouragement. So those are the five genres of the Detroit themed cards.
That's awesome. And what I like about your cards is, I told you before, when you're looking for a certain card, it doesn't say what you really want to say. And so you end up adding like your own paragraph or two to what's already there. And so I love it that you kind of already hit on the head what everyone else really is trying to say. And so that's so dope. So you've done some research while
Yes.
making these cards. So let us know just one about one of the monuments that you learned about for the city of Detroit.
Okay, so the Horace E. Dodge fountain actually is the Horace E. Dodge and Son Memorial Fountain um, in Hart Plaza. It was built in 1981. Anna Thompson Dodge, who was the wife and mother, she gave the city of Detroit $1 million towards the construction, because she wanted this built in memory of her late husband and son. She lost them both, her husband and her son. So that's what that monument stands for. And Horace E. Dodge, he was a supplier for Ford Motor Company, and it used to be an old motor company that he was a supplier for. And him and his brother, they actually started out with a bicycle shop, where they was making bicycles. And then they sold that and went into the supplier of being the suppliers for the automotive, industry. So that's just one of the little history that I discovered. Discovered
That's
a
so
lot of
neat though.
discovered
That's
a lot
so
of
neat.
histories, about Detroit. Detroit has such a rich history. Since I was studying, I learned a lot that I did not know about Detroit. And it's amazing.
That's good. So that means y'all need to purchase Miss Joyce cards so y'all can educate yourselves and learn about these monuments as well. I'm not from the city. I'm actually from Pontiac, and so it's making me kind of curious because we have our different monuments out there to kind of see like what they mean. Is it something bad? I know, for Pontiac we were a Native American reservation,
Hmm.
and so we have Chief Pontiac and things like that. But I've never I never really dove into it. So you've inspired me to do some homework, Miss Joyce.
Good because yeah, I grew up in Pontiac also, and Chief Pontiac. I think looked up a little bit about him. He was kind of political. So
Hmm.
so I think his what he stood for also will be interesting. If you look
So
into.
do you have cards for Pontiac?
No, I not at this time, but I can consider it.
I mean, why not? Why not? So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
5 years from now. So one of my goals for my business is that I actually want to do cards for all 50 states. I want to create choose one city out of each state and talk about in with my cards what what is going on in that state. If they have monuments, I mean in that city, if they have monuments, I definitely want to target those monuments for that city. Like Ohio, Cleveland, if they have or Cincinnati, which one has monuments. So that is something that I really that's in my heart. I really would like to do because again, I think after seeing that those monuments being torn down by the citizens, I really would like to help educate the public about the city that they live in, and how did it come to be, because like Detroit, Detroit is actually French, it is pronounced Detroit, and it was founded by two French guys that came over and they did fur trading on the banks of the Detroit River, so there's a lot to Detroit, so, and I'm sure that the other cities out there in other states have a lot of history also, and I would like to just touch on it just a little bit, especially for our young people, because our young people, I'm sure they don't know too much about, because they don't teach this in school.
Right, that's true.
They don't teach this in school. So I would like to be that avenue, for that, to help people understand and see if it's something they can be proud of, in their
Sure. Yeah,
because Detroit is, there's a lot to be proud about in Detroit, even though Detroit gets a bad rap,
that's true.
but Detroit has a lot to offer, I believe, just in my study and a lot of things that has happened here in Detroit and a lot of things, that, like I said, that it stands for, Detroit is a hub. I mean, it's actually the hub for the Underground Railroad. It was the last stop on on their travels,
Hmm.
going into Canada, So Detroit
Yeah,
was the last stop, which I found that out too. And I was like, wow, So yeah, Detroit is very important, and I'm sure there's a lot of other cities out there in these states that is also important, and so that's one goal I would like to do. My ultimate goal though is to, I found out that I have a passion for the homeless, and I would like to create what is called a reinstatement center for the homeless, to be able to
oh,
go
okay.
to and, get cleaned up,
Yeah,
get educated, help them find jobs, help them get housing, so that they can be placed back into society as productive citizens. A lot of the homeless people, they're not as down and out as you think they are. These people have degrees.
yeah,
They, they just somewhere along the line they fail, you know,
yeah,
and they fell down. And I would like to, extend a hand to help them.
yeah. Help them get back up
Yes, help
for
them get back
sure.
up. So that's, God actually gave me a plan
Hmm.
for that project, which is going to be a big project.
It sounds like it, but it's something that we've always wanted to do ourselves as well. So
Okay.
please let us know once you get your project up and running.
Definitely, definitely, because that is in my heart, because when I found out that, the young women or the women can't go to these shelters because they get mistreated and abused, by the other homeless people, so that just did something to me, and next thing I know, God was giving me a plan, of what to do about it, and I don't call it a homeless center, it's called a reinstatement center that I would like to do. So those are two things that through my business that I would like to pursue. You know.
Okay, Miss Joyce. So let everyone know how they can follow you on your social media.
Yes. So on social media, it is JLD Cards Such. So you take the and sign out, and it's just JLD Cards Such. And I am on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
All right, you guys. You guys heard it here first on Total Entertainment Radio, Outside Edition. I'm loving it. You are the first, Miss Joyce. So thank you once again for being a guest on our show, for rocking with us, for trusting us to help you push your business further. I wish you much, much, much more success. Y'all make sure y'all check out JLD Cards and Such for all of
Yeah.
your greeting cards, birthday cards, get well cards, congratulations cards, whatever the occasion. Miss
Yeah.
Joyce has it. Y'all make sure y'all continue to follow Total Entertainment Radio. Y'all make sure y'all continue to follow us on social media. Y'all make sure y'all continue to follow us on
Oh,
Instagram,
you froze up. Yeah, you froze
All
up
right,
there
you
a
guys.
little.
You guys heard it here first on Total Entertainment Radio. It's your girl, Miss Kayla. You're signing out.
Thank you.